I'm going to list the top 10 best fruits for folks with diabetes and also the 5 worst ones. In this video, I'll break it all down and rank the fruits, making a list of the very best and also the worst fruits out there. Do you think watermelon is a no-no for diabetics? How about papaya or cantaloupe? If you're a diabetic, write in the comments what happens to your body when you eat each type of fruit. And if you notice any fruit missing from the list by the end of this video, leave a comment asking about it, and I'll always respond. I always respond to comments, you know. So first, we'll categorize fruits based on 2 variables, glycemic index and glycemic load. You've got to always consider these 2 variables when choosing your foods, besides, of course, the actual portion size. What's the glycemic index, you ask? The glycemic index is how much the carbs, that sugar, can raise your blood sugar when you eat that food. That's what the glycemic index is all about. This is all the glycemic index means. The higher the glycemic index, the worse, and the lower, the better. Your body absorbs those carbs more gradually. And the second variable is the glycemic load. That's how much sugar, how much carbohydrate is in a given portion. In this video, I'm going to consider portions of 120 grams, so they're all the same. In reality, it won't be like this. A slice of watermelon isn't the same size as an orange or an apple. But in this video, I'm using 120 gram portion. It's pretty important that you keep this in mind, along with the glycemic variables. So what's considered a food with a high glycemic index? How about a food with a low glycemic index?
Foods with a glycemic index up to 55 are considered low. From 56 to 69, it's medium, moderate, and a glycemic index of 70 or higher would mean a food with a high glycemic index. As for glycemic load, from 0 to 9, it's a low glycemic load. 10 to 19 is moderate, and above 20, like 20 or more, is a high glycemic load. So remember these factors and you'll be amazed and shocked when I talk about certain fruits that some channels or professionals say are off limits. You'll understand why they aren't. I'm telling you this because a bunch of patients have messaged me after seeing information saying that fruits I consider allowed are disallowed. Why the conflicting info? First, some only consider the glycemic index. And as I said at the beginning of the video, you always have to consider these 3 factors: portion size, glycemic load, and also glycemic index. It's super important to know. I'm a diabetes specialist, so I deal with diabetic patients every day, and I can tell you how blood sugar works, how to control it properly, and what you should or shouldn't do. Leave a comment with your type of diabetes. Do you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes? Because this video is useful for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, and even for the general population who likes to be informed. So it's extremely important for you to share this video with your friends and the people you care about so that they can get this information. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's aim for 1,000 likes on this video. That's quite a lofty goal. The channel currently has 29,000 subscribers. Therefore, I'm trusting you to help YouTube distribute this information because millions of people, without exaggeration, need this information. They need to know about blood sugar control. Let's kick off our list of the 10 best fruits for diabetics and also the top 5 worst ones, keeping in mind that there's not a single fruit that should be totally ignored, nor is there any that should be totally avoided. What matters here is moderation, how much you're able to limit yourself with that particular fruit, but you know that already, right? Let's start with the best fruits. Number 10, strawberry. Strawberries have a glycemic index of 40 and a glycemic load of 3. That makes them a great fruit for anyone who's looking for solid blood sugar control. On top of antioxidants and vitamins, strawberries help stabilize your blood sugar levels. 9. Apple. Apples have a glycemic index of 39 and a glycemic load of 6. Remember, apples should be eaten with their skin on, preferably since it's got those fibers. I'll just compare them to apple juice for a sec. So, you know how much more sugar it's got? It's got a glycemic index of 44 and a glycemic load of 30. So it's way more concentrated and has more potential to spike your blood sugar levels than eating the fruit itself. So there's a tip for you. Go easy on fruit juices or skip them altogether. Focus on the whole fruit instead. 8. Pear. Pears are an awesome fruit for diabetes management since their glycemic index is 38 and glycemic load is 4, which lands them in our list. 7. Cherry. Now for a plot twist. Whenever I mention cherries to patients, I see their eyes pop.
It has a glycemic index of 20 and a glycemic load of 6. So it's really good for diabetics to eat. Just do it in moderation. 6. Avocado. Avocado has a glycemic index of 10 and a glycemic load of 2. Yeah, you heard that right. Because avocado is full of monounsaturated fats. Even though they're the good kind of fats, you gotta be careful not to eat too much. Even though it's great for managing blood sugar levels and doesn't spike your blood sugar, even with a really low glycemic index, if you eat too much, you could get too many calories, which could lead to weight gain, and that messes up your blood sugar control, increases insulin resistance, and that's really bad for diabetes. So, it's a great food, one of the best, but watch out for the calories. Number 5, guava. Guava is an amazing fruit since it has a glycemic index of 23 and a glycemic load of 2. This low glycemic load lands it among the top foods. Number 4, orange. Orange has a glycemic index of 40 and a glycemic load of 4. Just a reminder, I'm considering portions of 120 grams for all the fruits I've mentioned and am about to mention. Number 3, watermelon. Wasn't watermelon a forbidden fruit? Something to avoid completely? Why is that? Why do so many people say that? Because it really does have a high glycemic index. The glycemic index of watermelon is 72. It's a bit off compared to other fruits, but it has a low glycemic load, a glycemic load of 3 to 4 carbs per 120 gram portion. So be aware of that. Remember what I said at the start of the video? The glycemic load is just as important as the glycemic index. And obviously, you're not going to eat an entire watermelon.
If you have one slice, around 120 grams of watermelon, you're looking at a glycemic load of 3 to 4 carbs, a low glycemic load. This actually makes watermelon one of the better fruits for diabetics to enjoy, but of course in moderation, as I always say. Number 2 is peach. Peach has a glycemic index of 42 and a glycemic load of 4, making it one of the best fruits for diabetics. And the number 1 fruit in our ranking is passion fruit. Not only does it help with anxiety and sleep quality, it also has a glycemic index of 27 and a glycemic load of 5. So it's also among our top fruit choices. Moving on to the worst fruits for diabetic, the ones you should avoid. So compare them with watermelon as well, which many people put in the list of the worst fruits. So you can see what I mentioned about glycemic load. Fruit number 5 is banana. Banana has a glycemic index of 62 and a glycemic load of 16. So make the comparison so you can see the difference that banana provides more carbs per meal, per serving, and this is essential for diabetes control. It's essential for you to know how many carbohydrates there are in each serving, each meal you'll consume, because this completely changes how diabetes works. You change the game in diabetes treatment with this information. Number 4, the pineapple. Pineapple has a glycemic index of 59 and a glycemic load of 12. So pineapple makes our list of the worst fruits, the ones you should really watch how much you're eating. The third fruit on our list is mango. Mango has a glycemic index of 56 and a glycemic load of 14. You have to be really careful with the portion size of mango because it has both a moderate glycemic index and glycemic load, which could mess up your blood sugar control if you eat too much mango. Number 2 is papaya. Papaya has a glycemic index of 56 and a glycemic load of 11. Papaya also has lots of fiber and substances like papain that help your gut function better. But watch out for this fruit if you have diabetes. Number 1. Before I tell you the number 1, I want to point out something about dried fruits, like dried apricots or prunes. I'm not including them in the ranking because they're super concentrated. For example, dried prunes have a glycemic index of 29 and a glycemic load of 30, which is way higher than the whole fruits I'm talking about. But the number 1 fruit on our list is grapes. Grapes have a glycemic index of 59 and a glycemic load of 12 per 120 gram portion. If you liked this video and found it helpful, or if there were any surprises, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like, and if this video was useful for you, subscribe to the channel and keep watching. I also made a video with 12 tips to help with blood sugar control, so if you want to learn more, click here. Take care.